welcome. We know everybody has a choice when they want to go to school, so we appreciate you choosing us. I promise you the experience will be positive. For some of you, it might even be life-changing, but for the most part, know that we're glad you're here. We're going to help you get to where you want to go. So ACI is the place to be, obviously, because we are here. I'm John. That's my brother Tom. We own the school. We're the school brothers. So a little bit of history. ACI is a family-owned and operated career school that's been in business since '82. The training programs offered here will enable you to earn a good living wage and grow. And again, we're glad you're here. Just a little bit of information here. For court reporting, those of you in that program, there's a projected shortage of 825 reporters in Texas in the next 8 years. That's according to the National Court Reporters Association. Paralegal, the expected job growth in Texas is 27% compared to 8%, which is the national average, and that's according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. For medical assistants, there's projected to be an increase of 138,900 jobs from 2014 to 2024. That's a 23% increase. Medical office specialists. As of May 2015, there are 85,390 medical office, billing, and coding jobs in Texas, the highest of any state in the country. And again, that's the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Administrative assistants, there's a projected job openings of 323,100 between 2014 and 2024. Nursing assistants, expected to grow much faster than the average occupation. Projected openings almost 600,000 between 2014 and 2024. So what you're training for, there's going to be plenty of openings, there's going to be plenty of opportunities. We just need to get you the skills you need to get there. So you met a couple of people this morning. Candace is the head of records. If you're a distance ed student, she should be emailing you a schedule if she hasn't already. Marietta is the young lady that answers the phone at the front desk. You can also talk to Tabitha, who's in here helping us this morning, and Janelle in the admissions department. I want to emphasize, don't lose a connection with your admissions person when you start school. They want to be here for you when you start, while you're in school, and when you graduate. So keep that connection going. Questions regarding subjects or courses, you want to see the instructor for that course. So depending upon your program, you may have one instructor, you could have as many as 2 or 3. Each instructor has office hours, and we're going to talk about that too. If you're a distance ed student, you want to be reminded that your instructor will correspond with you via email primarily. She will also use the phone and text messages. You need to respond to her within 24 hours. That's a requirement of any distance ed students, so keep that in mind. Or as I tell my 22-year-old son, for goodness sake, please check your email. There might actually be something important in there from your school. So remember that. Urgent matters, this is my email, this is my phone number. I can also, if you want to write down my cell phone number, it's 817-996-1058. Call me or text me anytime and I'll try to get back to you within 24 hours. If I can't help you, I'll refer you to the correct department. Questions regarding financial aid, we've got the dynamic duo of Tom and Tommy who will be doing a presentation for us this morning. Questions for career services, see Allison. She's here Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Email's a great way to contact. Okay, attendance. These are the things you want to do. Arrive at your scheduled class on time. Distance ed students, you must complete the required number of hours each week. And I'll say this a couple of times. If you're a distance ed student or you're taking a distance ed class, either now or in the future, for attendance. That's a requirement. Important, distance ed students, again, weekly participation is required for attendance. Schedules, grades, modifications, advising uniforms. You can see Candace in the records office. There's her information. And again, she's here 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, and she's also available by email. Now, I used to have a slide here that said, turn off your phone, don't be on your phone in class. Well, that's not practical anymore, right? So we want you to use your phone. There are all kinds of apps out there that help you with time management, help you with study tips. There's a medical assistant app, there's a legal assistant app, there's a court reporting app, there's a certified nursing assistant app. App up, how about that? Tutoring, distance ed instructors, day, evening and weekend availability. Email, calls, or text will be returned within 24 hours during scheduled academic term, 7 days a week. So communicate with your DE instructors. And distance ed court reporting students, this is a special message to you. You're required to put in the 20 to 25 hours per week. That's the commit. Please keep that in mind. This includes live classes and discussion. If you're a distance ed student, a new learning environment, or maybe a new learning platform, don't be afraid to ask for help. Everybody needs help now and again, and we're here to help you. And here are some of my favorite tips for success while attending ACI. Go to class. Number one, kind of a no-brainer, but that's essential. Communicate with your instructors and ACI staff. Let us know what's going on. If there's an issue, maybe we can help. If we don't know about it, there's no way we can help. So let us help. For distance ed students, find a quiet place where you can do your work without being interrupted. So get yourself a quiet place if you're a distance ed student where you can study and get stuff done. Use your smartphone. Sign up for my text alerts. That's the number one way. That's the first thing that I use when there's an announcement. This is how you can sign up for my text alerts if you want. It's voluntary. You don't have to. It's a one-way, and you can opt out at any time. You should have an orientation packet, a schedule, a calendar, and a map. If you're on social media, you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Just one more thing that wasn't on here. Now have an ACI YouTube channel. Just search Arlington Career Institute, and this orientation is going to be on there. Remember that. There'll also be a link to it on our website.
First of all, a big welcome to all of you. And we've got a good-sized crowd here today. And also a special welcome to the students watching this presentation online. This is the first time we've done this, so new territory for us. My primary responsibility is overseeing the financial aid and the business office, but I'm here to help you guys with anything. If you lose your money in the vending machine, you need a book, you need to help making a copy, I'll help you with anything. So I'm just not limited to the financial aid and business office. This picture up here is a picture of some of our medical assistant graduates, recent graduates, and just like you guys, at some point in their life they said, you know what, I need to increase my job skills, I need to go to school. That's why you guys are here today. And they started off in the exact same room that you guys are in today, maybe a little anxious, maybe a little anxiety. But you take a look at them, they got through the program, and you guys can too. This is the way that you want to end up, right? You want to end up graduating, just like they did. What you're doing today is, as far as you're investing time and money in education. And time and money invested in education always brings the best return. So I know everybody's ready to get into class, so let's move along here. A few important things to remember about the financial aid and business office while you're here. We're here to help you. And this is where you come to make your payment, turn in paperwork, stuff like that. Some other important things to remember: always check your email daily. John touched on this. That's our primary contact with you guys. We need something from you, that's what we're going to do. We're going to email you. Anyway, I was helping a student the other day, and I said, well, I sent you an email. And she said, well, what email did you send it to? And I told her, and she said, oh, that's my old email. So make sure that we have the right one. She's like, oh, I never checked that one. Make sure you have your right email, and you guys check that every day. The FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid, you guys that are receiving federal student aid, you had to complete that. We assist you with that. We'll make sure it's done correctly. If there's some problems or corrections that need to be made, we'll walk you through the process. We're just not going to say, hey, you need to do it on your own. We're going to help you make sure it's done correctly. The master promissory note through direct loans. Again, if you have the federal student aid and you have the direct loans or the student loans, you need to do this. This one kind of falls through the cracks because once you do your FAFSA, you have to wait a few days before you can do this one if you've never had student loans before. They have to verify your identity, etc. It takes about 2 to 3 days. So usually this is the one that we'll follow up and say, hey, you need to do your master promissory note. And again, we'll help you with the process to make sure it's done correctly. If you've ever had financial aid before, or if you've never had financial aid before, write down this website, this nslds.ed.gov. This is a way for you to go online and track your federal student aid or your kids' federal student aid or whatever. If you're going to have federal student aid in the future, whether it's here at another school, this is a way for you to go online and look and say, well, how much have I borrowed so far? How much grant funding, Pell Grant funding have I gotten? By the way, is there a limit to the number of amount of Pell Grant funding you can get? Does anybody know? There used to not be, but the government came out 4 or 5 years ago and said you can only get 6 years of grant money as an undergraduate student. Anyway, very helpful website. You got to know your username and password for FAFSA to utilize this. Again, we'll help you set it up if you want to. In-school deferments, if you've been to another school and you want to defer those prior student loans. Anybody ever had a student loan before? Okay, you want to postpone the payments on that prior loan, come see us. It's a quick process, one form. Maintain satisfactory progress to be eligible for federal student aid. If you have questions about your federal student aid, come see me or Tommy. Stuff is a lot like your tax return. It's all based on individual situations. Teacher's not trained to give you the right answer, neither is your fellow student, the receptionist. Come see Tommy and I. We'll make sure you get the right answer. Student loan exit counseling. Again, the federal student aid, if you have direct loans, you have to complete exit counseling with us before we can clear you to graduate. In graduation, that's the way you want to end up. 1098T, any cash that you pay us while you're in school here, and this is on down the road, but when you do your taxes for 2017, any money, and nursing assistant students, this includes you, you can try to get the education credit on your tax return for the money that you paid us in cash or student loans. And eventually, if you're getting a refund, what will that do? It's going to increase your refund, right? So we send these out in January, so watch for that. Again, I know this is down the way, but just a heads up. It can help increase your refund on your tax return. So study tips. John went over a few of his. Show up for class every day. Review your note-taking skills. You're going to be taking some notes. And also, it's not up there, but you're going to be doing some reading. You guys got these books in front of you. So if you're a little weak on your reading skills, or maybe you haven't been reading as much lately, try to do some extra reading. Pick up a magazine, newspaper, read stuff online. Try to build that reading skill up a little bit because you're going to have to do some reading. Record your lectures on your devices, your smartphone. Man, when studying for tests, you can read something over and over and over and say, okay, I got this. But when you get in a testing situation, you're kind of anxious anyway. What I found that worked for me is I would write out the question and answer maybe at least 2 times. On the ones I was having trouble remember, maybe 3 times. And that helped it stick in my brain rather than just reading something over and over and over. Make sense? Utilize the technology, Google, YouTube. Every subject that you take, you're going to find some information on Google, YouTube, Wikipedia. So utilize that. Okay, the other one's real important too. Work on building your self-confidence. You got to fight this anxiety monster every day. That guy's out there. He keeps us from trying new things. He tries to beat down our confidence. So every day you got to fight that guy. And one of the ways you can do it, you've taken a good step today by showing up here. The other way is every assignment that you complete, every test that you pass while you're here, you're fighting this guy. You're building your self-confidence. And watch out for people that are out there that are jealous of what you're doing. Maybe it's a friend, maybe it's a family member saying, you can't do that. So-and-so, you can't do that. What are you trying that for? Watch out for those people because they're jealous. You know who I'm talking about, right? John mentioned this, try to have fun. And then remember, the way you're supposed to end up is to graduate. That's the way you want to end up. Make that your goal today. And the last thing, it's not up there, but you guys, you need to be proud of yourself for what you're doing today, what you're starting. Because not only is it going to improve your life, but it's also going to improve the life of your family and your family members.